Many centuries passed following the Imprisoning War, where Hyrule flourished peacefully once again. The kingdom recovered from the massive casualties of the war, with memories of this conflict fading throughout the generations. However, catastrophe would once again befall the kingdom, as pestilence and drought devastated the land. The King of Hyrule, after discussing these recent disasters with the Council of Sages, ordered an investigation of the seal that kept the Dark World and its demons imprisoned, believing these events could be a sign of the seal weakening. Fortunately, the seal remained intact. Fearing for his country and desperate to find the source of the plague, the king offered to reward anyone who would find the source of these troubles. It wasn't long before a mysterious figure appeared before the king, a robed mage named Aghanim, whose strange and unseen magic would put an end to the disasters of the kingdom. This act gained the fame of the mysterious sorcerer, who was now viewed as a hero by the grateful people of the kingdom. And as a reward for his deeds, the King of Hyrule appointed the mage as the chief advisor to the throne, and heir to the Seven Sages. It seemed that peace had returned to Hyrule once again. However, Aghanim's true motives would soon begin to show their face, as rumors began to spread throughout all corners of the land that he used his magical powers to govern the kingdom in place of the king, and that he also planned to take over the throne, as well as rumors of strange magical experiments taking place inside the castle tower at night. Aghanim used his dark powers to murder the King of Hyrule, brainwash the soldiers of the kingdom to do his bidding, and kidnap the young maidens, the descendants of the Seven Sages, to use their powers to break the seal placed on the corrupted Sacred Realm, by sending them to the Dark World to drain their powers. Of these maidens, the Princess of Hyrule, Zelda, was one of them, who was locked up in the dungeons of the castle awaiting her fate. Using her telepathic powers, the princess desperately sought out help. A young boy named Link, who lived with his uncle in a small cottage south of Hyrule Castle, awakened in the middle of a stormy night, as he heard the pleas of the princess. She told him that she was being held prisoner in the castle dungeons, and beckoned him to rescue her before it's too late. Link saw that his uncle, armed with a sword and a shield, was about to leave towards the castle, and instructed his nephew to stay indoors. Ignoring his uncle's warnings, Link grabbed his lantern and followed him into the castle, the entrance blocked by patrolling soldiers. Zelda told Link of a secret entrance found somewhere behind the castle, and after dropping through a hole hidden under a solitary bush, he stumbled upon his gravely wounded uncle, lying motionless on the wet floor, with his back turned against the brick wall. Having failed to stop Aghanim, his uncle handed Link his sword and shield, and with his dying breath, tasked him to rescue the young princess. Sneaking his way past the brainwashed guards, Link broke Princess Zelda out of her prison cell, escorting her out of the castle through the sewer systems into the sanctuary north of the castle. The priest of the sanctuary, relieved to see them both safe, told them of a weapon powerful enough to defeat the evil sorcerer, the legendary Master Sword, and sent Link to find Sahasrara, said to be a descendant of one of the original Seven Sages, who was the last person alive to know the location of the Master Sword. Upon finding Sahasrara, he told Link that in order to prove his worth to wield the Master Sword, he needed to find the 3 pendants of virtue scattered across Hyrule, guarded by powerful monsters. The Pendant of Courage, found within the Eastern Palace, protected by a group of 6 armored knights. The Pendant of Power, found within the Desert Palace, guarded by 3 Landmolas. And the Pendant of Wisdom, found within the Tower of Hera, guarded by a single Moldome. After obtaining the 3 pendants, Link made his way deep within the northern Lost Woods, and pulled the Master Sword from his pedestal, when he heard Zelda's cry for help, as Aghanim's soldiers had invaded the sanctuary. With the Master Sword in hand, Link hurried towards the sanctuary, only to find that the soldiers had already taken Princess Zelda back to the castle. Link infiltrated Hyrule Castle to rescue Princess Zelda once again. However, this time he was too late. Aghanim was already in the process of sending Princess Zelda to the Dark World, and upon the ritual's completion, the seal of the 7 sages was broken. Link faced off against Aghanim, turning his own magic against him with the use of the Master Sword, but before he could defeat him, Aghanim quickly used his magic to transport Link to the Dark World. Those who entered the Tainted Golden Land would transform into demons due to Ganon's influence. However, Link, possessing the qualities of the hero, was instead transformed into the form of a pink bunny. Finding the Moon Pearl, Link returned back into his true Hylian form, as he prevented the holder from transforming within the Dark World. And with the use of the magic mirror, Link could travel back to the Light World whenever he wished to. Sahasrara, being a descendant of the 7 sages, was able to communicate with Link across dimensions. He told Link that not all was lost, as Link could still save Hyrule if he reclaimed the Triforce. In order to do so, he would need the help of the maidens in order to reach Ganon's tower, who were now trapped inside crystals within the various temples of the Dark World, slowly being drained of their power to widen the gateway of the Dark World, in order to allow passage for the Demon King back into the Light World once again. Link set off to rescue the 6 maidens within each of their respective temples of the Dark World, guarded by powerful demons. The Maiden of the Palace of Darkness, guarded by the Helmosaur King. The Maiden of the Swamp Palace, imprisoned by the one-eyed jellyfish Argus. The Maiden of the Skull Woods, held captive by the giant insect Mothula. The Maiden of Thieves' Town, held prisoner by Blind the Thief. The Maiden of the Ice Palace, restrained by the icy eyeball Colster. And the Maiden of the Misery Mire, protected by the viscous eyeball cluster Beatrice, and rescuing Princess Zelda, the final maiden within Turtle Rock, guarded by the 3-headed stone turtle Trinex. With all the maidens rescued, they used their powers to break the barrier sealing the entrance to Ganon's tower. Scaling up the perilous tower, Link faced off against Aghanim once again. Upon his defeat, the shadow of Ganon emerged from his body, transforming into a bat before flying off into the Pyramid of Power, where Link and Ganon would have their final confrontation. Obtaining the silver arrows from the Fat Fairy within the Pyramid of Power, Link ventured inside the pyramid to face off against Ganon. After a long and fierce battle, Link dealt the final blow which vanquished Ganon, and took back the complete Triforce from the Demon King. Instructed by the Ancestors of the Triforce, a mystical voice that resonated within the Golden Triangles, Link placed his hand on the Triforce and wished for peace to return to Hyrule, which reverted all of the ruin and destruction caused by Ganon and Aghanim. The King and Link's uncle were both revived, and all the brainwashed soldiers returned back to normal. Link then returned back to the Lost Woods, and placed the Master Sword into its pedestal, where it would come to rest for many years once again. The complete Triforce would once again come to rest in the hands of the royal family of Hyrule, and with Ganon gone, the dark veil that shrouded the Sacred Realm slowly faded away. And that were the events of A Link to the Past Explained. If you like this video, please leave a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get notified of future uploads. Also, consider following me on Twitter and Instagram if you haven't already to stay in touch. This has been Zelda Lore, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!